What is up, you amazing people? It is I, Nima, and today I want to talk about a game called Rite. This game is a precision platformer. If you don't know what that is, think of like Super Meat Boy, and if you don't know what that is, think about something that makes you question your ability to game. It really questions your self-worth as you try to get through these incredibly difficult stages at incredibly quick times while you're comparing your stats to other people's, and you realize, I'm not very good. Yeah, that's right. No, Rite's actually a lot of fun. Before we get into that, I just gotta thank everyone. We finally hit that 500 mark, guys. It's awesome. We're actually past it now, which is amazing. Each and every one of you, the OGs, the new people, all of y'all are just amazing, and I love each and every one of you. Anyway, though, back to Rite. In the game, you are something called a nim. You're somewhat of a rabbit creature. You walk on two legs, but you're a different being than what we've seen before. For you to advance into adulthood, you have to pass this gauntlet of traps as you're timed on how quickly you can get from point A to point B, while the things that are in between you and point B are things like axes and spikes and all sorts of craziness. Man, I'm lucky. To get to adulthood, I only had to go through a gauntlet of incredibly high standards and constantly being compared to my cousin Nate. And yes, I know he's a big successful doctor who saved lives, and I just do something on the internets, or whatever my grandma says. Anyway though, in Rite, you're constantly put up against this test of time, as you're trying to get through this incredibly difficult obstacle course while also collecting certain items. And if you collect all these items through all 4 biomes, you'll actually unlock a 5th world, which is just as difficult but just as fun. This game has kind of become one of those games that me and my friends like to send back and forth to each other, showing how well we've done and kind of challenging each other. It's been one of those things where when we're all hanging out, we'll just like break out the Switch and see who can do better and just kind of pass the Switch back and forth. And it's cool because it's one of those games that like literally within 12 to 30 seconds someone could be done. So you're constantly passing that thing around. As you know, you pass things around with your friends. But this game, I would say, definitely is up in that upper echelon of games that we typically have a lot of fun with playing, and it ends up being a game that I play way more than what I plan on playing. It's a game that I like to sit down and play before I decide what game I'm going to really play, or I'm going to delve a lot of time into and just kind of clear my head and kind of do a reset thinking about what to play. And lo and behold, there's many times where I end up playing that game for, a good 20-30 minutes more than what I'd planned on. And it's just like breaking the game out with your friends. You go back and forth, and everyone wants to beat the last person, so you're constantly in this like seesaw teeter-totter battle of who's going to take first place, and it's a lot of fun, and it really does challenge you in a lot of ways. Now, for me, the game is pretty simplistic, and there's not much of a story. And in these kind of games, you don't really need some deep story, just kind of a motivation for you to get from point A to point B, aside from being, stabbed or cleaved or impaled or however else the poor little guy is going to meet his demise. But it does have its purpose and its place as one of those games that is just kind of fun to throw on. I also enjoy the fact that it's relatively cheap, and it's one of those games that you're not going to have to spend more money on. It's not a mobile game where maybe you get it for free, but you're going to constantly spend, maybe 50 cents or $1 here or there as they kind of nickel and dime you for more and more and more. No, that's all you do. You spend your about $5 and the game's all unlocked and all ready for you. Now, I will say, I wish the controls were just a bit tighter, because in these kind of games, controls are very important. And this isn't to a point where it's a detriment to the game, but it is enough that you kind of notice it. I'm definitely not a person who's an expert in precision platforming, but I will say that I did notice that the controls could have been just a little bit better. I'll put it that way, because it's not awful, it's not like unplayable or anything. It's just, for me, a little bit of tuning would have been nice, and maybe a little bit of customization along those lines as well would have been cool. But I understand with these kind of more low budget games, they don't usually have those many options, but ultimately I think this game's a lot of fun. And if you're looking for a game that you don't have to sink a whole lot of time into or a whole lot of emotions or anything like that, this is perfect for you, especially if it's just a game that you maybe play while on the bus or lunch break, stuff like that, where you don't have a whole lot of time to invest in another game. It's a lot of fun. It's a good palate cleanser, if you will. But that's my thoughts on Rite. Let me know if you guys are interested in it, if you've been playing it, or what you're plan on playing it. I will say this, we are doing a giveaway on this game, so look out for that. That will be kind of announced in a future video coming up very, very soon. Anyway, guys, I appreciate you. Love you. Bye-bye.